It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the New Orleans Saints and the Cincinnati Bengals, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the banks of the Ohio River and Paycor Stadium in the Queen City of Cincinnati. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Just about set for football. Blake Grupe is ready to get us started. And we are underway from Cincinnati. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here come the Bengals. And CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story. And what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Here's Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Now 2nd and 3. Running right, here's Brown. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he is going to have a Bengals first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Burrow on play action. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on third down. That went out wide and intercepted. And the Saints are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So here come the Saints now for their first drive. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now what you see is a very confident quarterback who has a strong sense of self, totally understands the offense, and knows how to get the ball to his playmakers on the run.
Carr going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
From midfield, here's Carr. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. So the completion gets him just a yard. And 3rd and 8 now.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2. Here now a 3rd down and 8. As they've got it as we resume action. Now Carr. Little short pass here to Hill. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They will toss to Brown. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. From the gun, a give to Brown. Shrugs him off. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Here's 3rd and 3. Burrow will throw. Across midfield. He's going to pick up the 1st down and then some. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Andre Yoshivas, 61 yards. And the Bengals post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. The game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the 1st quarter. But in the 2nd quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. Here's Carr. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Carr. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. Carr going to throw. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. And while all of that was going on with a sack, it appears, unfortunately, we have an injured player. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So on 4th down, Matthew Hayball on to punt. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they have that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10. Now Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Second and 5. And Burrow going to throw again. This one complete to Yoshivas. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 36. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from 53. McPherson's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
Yeah, Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll throw now on the final play. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
The Bengals got a strong performance in that first half by Joey B. Their quarterback, Joe Burrow. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. (10-0) is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
They start the second half with Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Carr. There's a short one caught by Johnson. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Here's Carr to throw. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Carr now to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. They run it again with Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's DJ Turner who's got it, and the Bengals will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 43. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. A short throw there pulled in by all.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 9. Burrow looking to pass. And it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. In motion, the tight end. From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Second and 9. Throwing now is Carr. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they're able to bring him down at the 20.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. From the gun, it's Carr. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On play action, it's Carr. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. 67 yards. And the Saints have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Blake Groupie now for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. That time a 6-play drive. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Open man is Yoshivas. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. This is Brown going up the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And he stopped immediately there. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now it's Burrow. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. So a pressure spot here for Evan McPherson. This to swell the lead to 6. McPherson's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So time for Carr and the Saints. Down 13-7. 1:39 to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Throwing his Carr. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Trey Hendrickson in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Well, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down. Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's 3rd and long. Now Carr. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Trey Hendrickson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
And incomplete on the deep ball. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Burrow down to a knee, and that should be the final act of this one.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation.